Hey miners, welcome to the channel. Today we're tackling a common issue with the Panther X2 miner, the blinking status light and syncing problems. We'll be installing a new firmware from a different company, so stick around and I'll guide you through the troubleshooting steps. Without further ado, let's get started. So the first thing that you should do is to onboard the miner if you haven't already done so. You have to install the Helium Hotspot app on your iPhone or Android, doesn't matter, and the Helium HNT wallet, as well as the Helium Geek app. The Helium Geek app is way faster and gives you way more accurate details compared to the Helium Network website. So here, for example, it might say that it's inactive, but here it will tell that it's already syncing and up and running. Once you open the Helium Hotspot app, you're going to press on Link Helium Wallet. It will then open the Helium HNT wallet and it will give you a 12-phrase word, and you need to write the phrase somewhere, but it has to be on paper. Don't write it ever on your iPhone or phone or whatever in a password manager or on your PC or online or whatever. It doesn't matter. Just write it on a piece of paper because no one will ever ask you for it except the app, and you should never press any links where they require you to just enter the phrase, because if someone has access to the phrase, you're basically done. You'll lose all of your HNT. So you should click on Add Hotspot. It's going to show you some instructions on what to do and what not to do. You're going to then turn on the Bluetooth by inserting the SIM injection tool that came with the device at the back of the miner. To turn on the Bluetooth, then the Bluetooth light will simply turn on. You're going to then find the Helium in the app, and you're going to press on it and then basically just connect it and set up the location, the height of your miner, etc. After doing so, you can run a diagnostic test. In the diagnostic test, it's going to show you the current firmware of your hotspot. In my case, it was 2021. And it will also show you the IP address of your miner. If you can't do a diagnostic test, you can also find out the IP address of your miner by simply going to your Wi-Fi router's dashboard. You're going to get a list with all the devices connected to your network. I'm going to obviously blur all of them except for the miner. Here it's going to show you the assigned IP address. The least time for me is showing that it's permanent because I have set up a static IP address. After the miner is up and running, I would then recommend you to do to assign it a static IP. So you're going to just copy the assigned IP, or just copy it and paste it, and then you're going to basically just go to any browser and write in the address part HTTPS. You need to write it, otherwise it will not work, and then basically just the IP address of your miner. So now it's working for me because I have a different firmware version as well as a different firmware other than the Panther one. But when I used to have the Panther one, it showed me like an error page, and I tried different browsers. I have tried different IP addresses when I didn't assign it a static one, and it wasn't working. And how did I know that the firmware was not working properly? Because I wasn't able to access the dashboard and the status light was just blinking. Because the status light was blinking, it wasn't syncing for days. And in the Helium Geek app, it showed me that the miner is inactive, as well as on the Helium Network website. So what you could do is that you could connect the Helium miner using an Ethernet cable, and then you basically reboot the miner, and then go back to the Wi-Fi router's dashboard, and maybe it assigns it a new IP address, and then you're going to do the same step and try to access the dashboard from there. If it doesn't work, leave it for 1 hour or 2 hours. Maybe it updates by itself. Most probably it will not do anything. So what you're going to do is that you're going to remove the SD card from your miner, and don't worry, it will not avoid your warranty because there is no warranty. The Panther team, they simply just abandoned their project. If you try to buy one, you'll just get an error. If you try to contact them, no one will ever answer you. So that's the only hope you got, is to change the firmware. So after removing the SD card, you're going to basically reboot the miner, and you're going to connect it via Ethernet, and you're going to see if you could access the dashboard from again. Most probably you will not be able to access the dashboard, and in my case I had all of the lights turned on, so it indicated that nothing is basically working. The Panther is on, but it's not reading any files or any firmware. So after plugging in the SD card, it's going to give you a prompt message that the SD card is not readable or it's corrupted. It will ask you whether you want to eject it or just ignore the message. So you have two options. You could either format the SD card to exFAT, so you can install the new firmware on it, but you're going to lose access to the Panther firmware. But anyways, we can't even access it because it's corrupted or it's just too old. So what you could do, and that's what I would recommend you guys to do, is just to get an SD card, preferably from the same company, which is SanDisk, and the same specifications, which is 64 gigabytes. You're going to plug it into your PC or your Mac, doesn't matter. You're going to then install the new firmware, Browan. Just open the link that I'll leave in the description. Once you click on the firmware, it's going to download. It's just 1.8 gigabytes, but you need the 64 gigabytes because it just needs 64 gigabytes. You're going to also need to download the Balena Etcher. This will enable you to just image the firmware into the SD card. You're going to just press download. So after installing Balena Etcher, you're going to press on flash from file and then just selecting the firmware that we just installed. I'm not going to do this because I've done it already. And then you're going to click on select target, which would be our new SD card. So it's going to take around 8 minutes, and then it's going to take another 5 minutes to check if all the files are up and running. Before inserting the new SD card into your miner, I would recommend you to first set up the miner's location. So for example, and make sure that the Ethernet cable is long enough, because in my case I wasn't able to have the miner connected to my phone via the app, so I kept getting the error that this miner cannot be connected. I don't know why, but I've also heard that some people were successful in using Bluetooth by immediately just turning it on after powering the miner. Otherwise you'll not be able to turn on the Bluetooth after the miner has been up and running. So you can also install the Merry app. I'll also leave all the links in the description, and then you're going to link the Merry app to the Helium HNT wallet, and then it's going to detect your Panther miner, but don't worry, it will work just fine. After this, you're going to insert the SD card and connect the miner via Ethernet. The miner should just be able to boot just fine. The status light will blink for some seconds and then it's going to be solid. So then you could head to your Wi-Fi routers again, and then you're going to assign it a static IP address, or you can do this later. You're going to get the assigned IP. So when accessing the dashboard for the first time, it's going to show you that the hotspot firmware version is from 2021. And if you go to miner info and if you click update, it's going to tell the firmware version that you have, it's basically the latest one. But don't worry, because here it says that LoRa is still activating. So you're going to have some patience. You're going to let it do its thing. It's going to take some hours, maybe a day or two. For me, it took around, I think, 5 or 4 hours. After this, it will show you that it's working properly and it's already synced to the network. And once you open the dashboard, it's going to give you all the other options, meaning that it is working properly and it's up and running. It'll also show you additional miner services, but I don't think you need them. They're just gimmicky, and yeah, you just don't need it. You just farm basically HNT. For me, it also showed me that the SD card somehow not working anymore, even though it's just plugged in. But I'll just not do anything. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? So just let it do its thing, and yeah, basically congratulations, everything should be working now. You should be just farming HNT, and all the HNT that you'll be gathering, they all will be available in your HNT wallet. And I think you need to have some Solana in there for you to have them actually just sent to your wallet. I recommend you guys to just stick with the current firmware, because Merry seems to be just still in the project and they haven't abandoned it, just like Panther did. And congratulations, it's now working and you should be just farming HNT now. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, leave some feedback. If you have any questions, write them down below. Peace.